Well, good afternoon, everybody. And I want to thank you very much for taking time this afternoon to join Premier and United Healthcare to learn more about Lean and how it's going to make your enrollment process, this AEP, and not just this AEP, but moving forward, very simple. Everybody is on mute, and if you do have a question, please go ahead and type it in the chat, and we can compile those and address those at the end of the webinar. But if we see something in the chat that looks pretty relevant in the subject matter that we're talking about now, then I'll interrupt our presenter, who I'm going to introduce here in just a second, and we'll get that question answered. So again, from East to West Coast, I want to thank all the agents who are joining us today. Premier wants to do these kind of webinars to really help our agents get prepared for the AEP season that's quickly coming upon us. My name is Todd Morrissey, and I'm the National Marketing Director here at Premier. And today, as I mentioned, we have an outstanding presentation to show you how to get lean this AEP. And our presenter today, Erica Cimino with United Healthcare, has been a great partner over the years. Not only a great partner, but a dear friend. So we really appreciate all the efforts that she's done for Premier, helping us grow and in turn helping you grow your business. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Erica, and we're going to get this webinar started. Erica, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Todd. Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you and your agents and talk about something very near and dear to me, and that will make enrollment much easier for your agents. So we're here today to talk about the Lean system. We call it the Landmark Electronic Application Navigator, but Lean for short. And today we're going to identify the software and internet requirements for using Lean, the benefits, how to log in, how to navigate, the steps you need to complete an enrollment application, and the steps you need to use for offline. So we have online and offline capabilities, and identify any resources should you need them. So let's get started. So what is Lean? Lean is the preferred method of submitting enrollment applications. No matter where you are, it's open, it's available. 365, it's available. 24 hours a day, it's available. So we'd love for the opportunity for you to try it and know that it's going to be faster, it's going to be easier, and it's going to be better. Lean will automatically determine the appropriate election period when you're using the online system. The provider search directory website is just a click away. And applications taken in Lean remain visible in Lean. You don't need paper. You don't need to copy things over. You don't need to do anything, because once you process that application in Lean, it stays in Lean. You can open that up and look at it later on. We'll get a little bit more into that after. It's available on mobile tablets, making it really easy. Signature capture is a touch-enabled part of the tool. There's guardrails in place to prevent sales in unlicensed states. One-stop shop with agent tools such as worksheets and reference documents built in. How do we make it better? All plans, all MA and PV plans are available to enroll in Lean. You can take applications whether you're online or offline. No signature pad. Remember those messy signature pads that you had to carry around? Not needed anymore. And applications will be stored digitally in there for 10 years, which meets the requirements of CMS for storage of that information. So how do you get there? This information is all available in the United Distribution Portal. We call it UDP for short, but that's the agent portal that you use on a daily basis. And it can be accessed on a mobile device through the Lean app or through the portal. The online URL is here. It's also, you can also find that on the portal. To use Lean while online, you must have a compatible device and a compatible internet connection. You can get that through your cellular package, through a hotspot, or through Wi-Fi. How do I access Lean? Like I said, you can get there on a mobile device. How do you get the app? you go to your store, either your App Store or your Google Play Store, and you put in United Healthcare Lien, and this will pop up, and you just go ahead and click. What's compatible with Lien? Most are compatible. We do not recommend enrolling people on a phone. We don't think it's an appropriate way to enroll anyone for a plan. It's very hard to visualize and see on a phone. We would like you to use a Windows desktop, a Windows laptop. Surface has a little bit of a bug. You might have a little problem on that, but you can use your iMac, your MacBook, your Apple iPads, or your Galaxy Android. We cannot, at this time, have you enroll on a Kindle or a Nook. The browsers, Google Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, Firefox. I find the best one that works for me is Google Chrome. I really do find that that works best for me. It'll depend on your device, what works best for you. So how do I get in? Your password, your login and your password, it's the same password and login that you use to get into the portal, the UDP, as I said before. You open the Lien app or navigate to the Lien URL, get into that username and password, and put it in. Remember, they're case sensitive, and they cannot be changed in Lien. They can only be changed in the agent portal. They must be changed there, and we need to do that because we want the systems to be in sync, and the portal feeds to Lien, and then the applications go through processing and then feed back to the portal. So it's very, very important that if you want to change your password or any of your profile information, that you must do that either through the PHC or through the United Distribution portal. So what's in there? Once you get in, you log in, what do you see? The home page has a whole bunch of enrollment tools for you. It tells you, I'm going to just go through here. So there's a provider search link, a drug search link, a Medicare drug search link, agent portal, benefit review, enrollment handbook, election period worksheet, place to get your saved apps. And then if you want to go enroll MedSup, this is the place that you have to go moving forward to get to that Smart Enroll link. So Smart Enroll is the tool, the electronic tool for MedSup product. However, you must access it through this link from now on. On this page, you can see that when I click the Home button, it opens up everything that you can do in Lien. Get a new application. Go look at my applications, your alerts, your profile, and that's where you would sign out. You also, it gives you a message. You want to confirm that you're licensed, appointed, and certified in the state and product. Confirm that you have a scope of appointment, and confirm that you have a Medicare number. One of the beauties of Lien is it will also help you if you're online to confirm that you're licensed, appointed, and certified for the product. It's one of the built-in guardrails that we have to help you be more effective and not get into trouble with unqualified sales. There's also an online and an offline indicator. So you look on the top of this page and you see that I'm online. If I was offline, it would say offline up there. And that way you always know whether or not you're connected to the internet. The orange MAPDP button, it detects, it also, you can use that to start a new application. So if you don't want to come over here to this button to start a new application, you can go up here and you can start an MAPDP app. If you want to go out to Smart Enroll, you can click that, I call it an aqua button, and you can go ahead and you can click that. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go out there and get to enroll someone. And again, those blue circles, that just helps you while you're in there to link out to other areas to help you get that application. You can always get to the home page by clicking up at the top. You can always start a new application this way or the other way. You can view your saved and submitted applications here. Receive system notifications. So if we have some messages that we want to get out to you, you can go ahead and see that. It'll pop up for you. But if you want to just go look at some of the old ones, you can go out there and do that as well. And here's where you can see the profile that we have for you in our portal. That's what's in our system. So if something isn't right, if your email address isn't accurate or your address or whatever information is in there is not accurate, please call the PhD or go into the portal to the UDP and check that. And there are certain things that you can update in there, such as your email address. We want to make sure that we always have the most up-to-date information for you. When you're done, you can go ahead and sign out there. Knowing where you are at all times is the cookies on the top. You're in the Medicare information, the applicant, the product plan, questionnaire. You always know where you are. It's across the top, and it'll always give you your nav and let you know where you're at in the application process. At the bottom of the screen, you can always discard it. If you decide you're not going to enroll someone right now, you could go ahead and discard it. But if you have a situation where a client says, you know what, I want to wait for my son, he's not here, he's coming later tonight, can you come back? You can push save, and everything that you've already done will be saved. You don't have to submit it at that time. You only have about 24 hours before it'll either need to be submitted or it will need to be discarded. But our system will automatically sweep anything that's over 24 hours that has not been submitted. So you want to be really careful if you do save an app. And then once you're here, just continue to start adding the information. It's just like a regular application. You start with the Medicare information. It looks like the card, so it makes it really easy. If you have that Medicare card in front of you, you could just go ahead, put in the information that's on the card. Can't continue until you have all of that information completed when it's required. It's not required to have the Part A and B effective date, but if you have the card, you should always enter that information, as well as any information. So if there's not an asterisk next to something that it's required, but they have that information, you should always get more information than is required. So that helps us, especially with contact information. It helps us contact our members in multiple different ways should we need to reach them. So you go ahead, as usual, put the consumer information. One of the beauties of lien processing electronic is it's going to give you information that you need, but it's going to hide information that you don't. If you answer that there is an authorized representative enrolling the beneficiary, if you say yes, it'll drop down all the information required to enter that authorized representative information. If there is none, you won't see that. It'll just hide it. Makes it a very quick and efficient process to enroll someone. One of the things that I forgot to mention back here, when you enter the zip code, it will put the city and state. The county and state will automatically update when you do a zip code. So if there's more than one county, it will give you an option you will need to select and make sure that you have the right county. Just wanted to mention that. The primary spoken language, we definitely want you to select English or Spanish or other. If you select other, unfortunately we won't be able to provide any other languages other than English and Spanish. But once they're enrolled, they can contact customer service, and they will help assist in whatever languages they're desiring. If it's available, we'll get it for them. But at the time of enrollment, we can only select English, Spanish, or other. It's no different than today's world. Then we would choose the effective date. It will only give you the effective dates that are allowable for the date that you're doing the application. So you have the 3-month window. That's when you can enroll folks. And then it will only give you products that are available for that city, state, county, zip, all that. And you go ahead, select the right plan. And if there's any riders available, it'll go ahead and give you that option there as well. Now is the election period. If you're using an online system, it's going to go ahead and it's going to help you. It's going to hopefully give you only election periods that are available for the information that you've entered. It goes by their Part A and B effective date. It goes by their city, state, zip. It goes by a number of different things behind the scenes to help you determine whether or not they qualify. Some of the questions that are being asked, whether they qualify for an SEP, whether it's an initial enrollment and things like that. It will certainly have some guardrails built in to try and help guide you to the right election period. Of course, it's always the agent's responsibility to know how to enter election periods appropriately and correctly and use the right ones. But we do try and help you not select one that does not appear to be eligible. There's a help button on every page. When you're in here and you need some help in selecting an SEP reason code, down at the bottom it says need assistance with SEP reason code. You can go ahead and click that. It'll give you a little bit of a guide to help guide you should you not know exactly what the SEP reason code should be. And then we have, of course, all the important questions. And one of the usual ones is end-stage renal disease. And if they do say yes, of course, that will hold the application up. If they've had a kidney transplant or no longer need dialysis, they would have to send the doctor notes and information to that fax number or address before they can be enrolled. If you submit the application and it's yes, it's going to pend and it's going to send a letter to the member asking them for this information before we can enroll them. Otherwise, it's going to be denied. Are you covered under any other health insurance? Unless you answer yes, it's not going to drop down. You have a chronic condition, yes or no, and that's specifically for the chronic plans. You'll only get the questions required for the application for the plan that you're submitting. So it takes away all of the unnecessary questions that you would not need if you were going through the paper app. PCP search. So starting in about, what we're talking about maybe a couple more days. It's going to be either September 23rd or September 24th. We have a new PCP and physician search network. It's called Rally. And Rally will actually help the agents, help you guys do a PCP search and pass that information back to this system. So currently you have to go out, you have to find it, you have to cut and paste, then you have to come back, make sure you did it right. When you're in Rally, it's actually going to be just a tap and assign. It's going to ask you if you want to assign as a PCP, and it brings that information right over to this screen. Another way to make this simple and hassle-free for an agent. More information about Rally is coming out in the next day or two, so look forward to that. And for the improved search functionality for providers, because it really, really is a good tool. Search premium payment options. So here we go, where they have to select if there's a premium. You have to select a way to get that premium. They also have to select just in case there is a penalty, a late enrollment penalty. So go ahead and select that. If they want to do EFT, they could put that information in there, direct pay or Social Security. And then, very important, to go and verify that you have the right plan. Verify you have the right premium. This is a checkpoint. I have the ARP Medicare Complete Choice Plan 2, Regional PPO up here. There's a 0 premium. That's the plan I wanted to enroll them in. That's what's showing. If you have, and then you have to have them read the disclaimer, or you have to read it to them before you click over the button that applicant has reviewed and accepts. It's really, really important that they do that before we come to the signature page. Then you use a finger or stylus, mouse pad, whatever method that your device uses to go ahead and do the signature. And again, go back to the plan you are buying is, and verify the plan information is correct. Verify whether or not it includes drug coverage. Because if somebody does not have drug coverage and they needed drug coverage, this is going to cause a lot of problems for the entire year. As you know, sometimes members do not have the opportunity to switch plans after AEP. So you want to make sure right plan, whether or not it includes drug coverage, and that the PCP and effective date look correct. Very, very important that they do that and that they capture that signature, and then you move forward. Email enrollment receipt. If they have an email address, and this cannot be your email address, this needs to be the applicant's. Send the applicant an enrollment receipt. Put their email address in there, and then it'll automatically go ahead and send them that communication with all the information for their plan that they just enrolled for. If they do not have an email address, they'll get something in the mail. It's not a problem. And you can go ahead into the kit and you can handwrite the enrollment receipt right out of that kit. So it's totally acceptable to do that. But you must use that paper copy and leave them a receipt so they know exactly what just happened. They should also have all the materials as well. So it's not unusual that somebody would use that. And then, excuse me, if you wanted to enroll 2 people in the same household, we've made it really, really easy for you. You don't have to start all over. You can click over this little button here, Submit and Begin Shared Residence Application. If they're in the same household, whether it's a spouse or whether it's a sister or brother, whoever it is, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and click that over and you'll see the screen. Begin Shared Residence Application. You can select all if everything is identical, if their last name, their mailing address, spoken language, institution, plan selected, health coverage, PCP. If everything here is the same, click them all over. If some of these things are different, let's say they don't have an authorized rep, or they have a different effective date, or they have a different plan, whatever it is, you can go ahead and deselect those and go ahead and it'll start a new application. And you don't have to start all over from the very beginning. Once you submit this, you're going to get a confirmation. And it's very important. If you're online, you're going to get this confirmation right now. Thank you, checkbox, application's been submitted, confirmation number, and a receipt was emailed too, if there was an email receipt. And if you want to view that application, you just have to click the blue button there. If you want to close it, you would close it with that orange button and keep moving. You want to see that you did submit the application, just go to My Applications and refresh it, and you should see that application right there on your applications page. That's when you're online. And if you want to view and search applications, you can do that from this screen as well. But remember, this is only when you're online. If you want to go and you want to look at the whole application, just open it up. Just click Open App, and you'll be able to open that. If you see under here, Action Required, Applications Require Action, that means it has not been submitted. And you can tell that it's not been submitted because there is no confirmation number here. You see this next to number 1, there's no confirmation. But in the bottom one, it's submitted. It shows it's submitted. It has a confirmation number. Everything is good. That application up on top with Action Required, if it's not submitted within 24 hours, it's going to be deleted. If you want to delete it before that, the client calls you up and says, cancel, I'm not interested, don't submit it, you can go ahead and delete that app if it has not been submitted yet. You want to search for applications. Really, 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 really easy to search for applications. Over on the right side of my screen, you see the application search criteria. You can use any or all of that to go ahead and search. If you know the confirmation number, use the confirmation number. If you have the name, use the name. If you know the Medicare number, use the Medicare number. What if you just want to look at a date range? How many applications did I write this week? Go ahead, put it in there. Use your date range search. Effective date. Let's say I want to see all of the applications that I enrolled for December. You can go ahead, put that date in there, and you'll have that information available in seconds. But what if I'm offline? What if I'm in a rural area and I don't have access to the internet, but I still want to enroll electronically? We would love for you to do that. So we have created the offline version of Lean. The offline version is basically the same. Unfortunately, though, because you're offline, you don't have that election period logic. It cannot help you with the election period. You will have to rely on yourself and your tools to make sure that you are enrolling with the correct election period. You'll also see up at top in red, it shows that you're offline. You know right up here that you are offline. If you're online, it shows that you're online. But when you're offline, that is what it shows. And it cannot do a PCP search. You have to be prepared. You have to have all of that information ahead of the appointment to make sure that you can give them the correct provider and the correct provider number before you get out to that appointment. Whether it's you put it in your briefcase, whether you did the research before the call, you spoke to them before you got to the house, you know who their PCP is, whatever method that you currently use or you're going to be using in the future, you need to be prepared ahead of time, because it's really important that you know that you have the right PCP. And and a couple of things, current patient of PCP. So if that is their current doctor, you say yes. If it's not, you say no. If the doctor is not accepting new patients, but you're a current patient, the doctor will be able to take you. But on the other hand, if the doctor has a closed panel, and that there's a difference between a closed panel and not accepting new patients. The difference is a closed panel, you can't select that provider. Regardless of whether you are a current patient, you cannot select that provider. Unfortunately, that provider has said, I'm closing my panel, I'm not accepting any new members from these plans. So closed panel, cannot select. Existing patients only, you can go ahead if you're a current patient of that provider. And then to be compliant, all applications must be uploaded and submitted to UnitedHealthcare within 24 hours of the consumer's signature. So if you are doing this online, you're great. It's going to submit as soon as you push that button. But if you're offline, you have to get an internet connection within 24 hours to submit that application. It's really, really important, or that client of yours will not have coverage, and you don't want to run into that situation. So again, get to an internet, upload those applications. All you have to do is click refresh. And when you're offline, nothing happens. But when you're online, you click refresh. You can go ahead and you can watch it go from not submitted to submitted and get a confirmation number. Then you can go find your submitted applications, just like we did before. So again, offline, a little bit different, doesn't have all those guardrails, but affords the opportunity for an agent who does not have the internet access at the moment to go ahead and do an electronic application to make it seamless and easy and hassle-free for both the agent and the consumer. But choice is yours, online or offline. We just want you to try it. Give it one try. We encourage you to get out there, enroll somebody using Lean. Give it a try and see how it works. And you'll find that it's easy, it's efficient, you got a dashboard with your applications. Only applications that are enrolled in Lean will show in Lean. So if you had to do a paper application for someone, it will not show in the dashboard in Lean. But all of the applications will show in the portal. So whether it was a paper application or whether it was a Lean application, whether it was offline or online, it's going to be in the distribution portal for you to go ahead and access that information. But in Lean, you have more information. You have it at your fingertips. And you know that it was submitted, you know that it's gone over to the portal, you can go see it. A lot more efficient, a lot more effective. In the future, we're going to even build more bells and whistles into the system. So great time right now to give it a try. We have lots of support and resources for you. We have a special Lean team at the PhD, and we also have a Tier 2 support team that is available for complex technology issues. The producer help desk, the regular number, 888-381-8581. Option 5 is our Lean desk. So if you have a Lean problem or a Lean question, we really love for you to click that option 5 because you're going to get the person who knows the most about Lean and know how to escalate that issue to Tier 2 for you. Whatever question it is, and you have an odd question, an easy question, whatever it is, we have that available for you. We also have, yes.
Speaking of questions, I have one quick one. You would love to take a question, wouldn't you? Right. You've been talking now for 30 minutes. Wonderful, wonderful information. We did get a question in from Renee, and it said, after the applications are electronically submitted, can they be printed?
So I'm glad you asked that question because I'm going to tell you an answer that you don't really want to hear, but I'm going to give it to you. And the answer is no. This is an electronic system. It's compliant to enroll someone via electronic system. It is not compliant to take that information and print it to paper and have it around. It could cause some HIPAA problems. There's, it's an electronic system. We want you to use it electronically. We did not set it up to be able to be a reporting system or to be able to be a print to save. We have it all here for you. There's no reason to print. It's in the dashboard. You click the button, you open it up, you got all the information. Better than paper, way better than paper.
Okay. One other quick, there was one other question that came in from James. Do we have to have a signature pad?
No, you don't. As a matter of fact, I just threw away my box of signature pads when I moved. All tangled up wires and everything else. There is no signature pad required for lien. Your finger, a stylus, your mouse pad, whatever it is, no, 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 no. Thanks for asking.
You bet. There are no other questions at this time.
Fantastic. So resources, what do we have available? Oh my gosh, there's so much information available on the portal. There's a reference guide, frequently asked questions that we're constantly updating, a user guide, an offline job aid, links to a practice site. Get out there and try it. If you're afraid to use it on your own device, use it on the computer. There's a practice site. You can't hurt anything, can't break anything, but you can test it and play with it so that when you get out and use it in real life, you've already mastered it. You can try it here and then give it a whirl in real life. We encourage you to do that. Please go out to the practice site. Again, any questions are available. Go out to the MAPD, PDP, Lien Electronic Enrollment. Tons of information there on Lien. The training environment, it's also in the portal, but if you need this page, Todd will be able to give it to you. For the lienstage.uhc.com, you have to get there in the portal. I encourage you to go out there and give it a try. And now, Todd, if there's any other questions about anything else that you or anyone in attendance has for me, I would love to answer that for you.
Wonderful.
I talk fast.
Well, you know what? I will just tell you this. The information that you gave is absolutely phenomenal. We've been using, I know a lot of our agents have been using the lien system so far and have found it to just be outstanding. Simple, easy, effective. So I just want to echo what Erica's saying and just say if you do have the ability, please try it. Now, okay, with that, let's see. Do we have a question? Comment. Many of my clients in the insurance business, they really want to see the options selected. Is it done the way with life insurance and PC insurance? Let's see. I'm not sure if that, let's see. Many of my clients are in the insurance business and really want to see the options selected. Is it done the way with life insurance and PC insurance?
So here's the problem. I've never been involved in life and PC insurance, so I don't know how to answer that question, Todd.
Okay.
Maybe you have an agent who's done,
you know what?
Or somebody in the office.
Yeah, I was just going to say, John, maybe give a shout in to Premier, and for those of you on the call, let me give you, make sure you have our 800 number, and that is 800-365-8208. Again, 800-365-8208, and one of our health teams, I'm sure you all know, we've got a ton of marketers that are here to support you, help you answer any questions. So if you're working with a health team, John, give a shout in, and I'm sure we can answer that question for you. One other quick question that we did have, how do we submit SOAs? That came from Tim.
Oh, it's a great question. So scope of appointment, they already have their own process and their own fax number that they're supposed to go to. So it's really no different than it always was. It's just that agents have become accustomed to sending them in with their applications. There is a special scope of appointment number, fax number, that's actually with the scope, and that's where we prefer them to go anyway. So this will force the scope of appointments to go to the correct email, not email address, fax address the first time. However, Todd, I'm not going to step over your team here, but I'm sure if they sent it to your office that you would get that to the correct fax number also.
I assure you that we would, yes.
Thank you. And it's a hard habit to break. sending in the scope with the application, because I know some carriers do require it that way, but we do have a separate fax number for scope of appointment.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, Erica, you've done such a phenomenal job that there is one last question, and that is, and I think you talked about this at the beginning, can I put a Lean app on my iPad?
Yeah, you can.
Beautiful. I was going to answer that for you, but I thought you're the expert. I better let you do it.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, Todd, you'll be able to answer all the Lean questions anyway.
You know what? Maybe I might be able to give this presentation, but not as good as you, but I could give it. How's that?
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. But, you know, thank you for having, if there's no more questions, but thank you for having me here today. You know, one of the things, you know, as we're getting ready for AEP, and we're so close, we're just, what, a week away from the marketing season, October 1st. I'm really excited about what's to come, but definitely want to thank you and your agents for all of the partnership and sales that you guys have brought us in the past, you know, and we look forward to a very successful and prosperous AEP, and enroll people who need to be enrolled, and encourage people who have the right plans to stay where they are. You know, there's no reason to move if there's no reason to move, but get out there and have a great AEP.
Well, Erica, again, thank you so much. And just before I let you go, there was one last question that came in, and it was, what about supplements? And I think you mentioned that on this Lean system, you do have the ability to do Medicare supplements on this as well. Am I correct?
So here's how it works with SUPs. I'm going to try and find the page. With SUPs, it's actually a different system. It's Smart Enroll for now. However, you can get there from here. You have to get there from here. So up at the top here, there's a MedSup app. If you're going to do a MedSup app, you just click there. Or you can go to here. There's a couple of different ways to get to enroll in MedSup app, either by one of the icons on the home page, or up at the top in the aqua there, MedSup app, MAPDP app. So depending on what kind of app you want to enroll, you would click the correct button. So Smart Enroll is a separate system, but this is the access point that you have to use to get there. In the past, like a week or two ago, we just moved everything from Smart Enroll direct to Lean. You have to come in through Lean. So again, everything electronic comes through Lean. However, to do a MedSup app, you click on the MedSup button and you go to Smart Enroll, and that does not look the same as what we just did. That's a whole separate training. But if you're going to do an MA or PDP app, you click that other button and you go ahead and you start the application for the MA or PDP. Again, you can get there here, or you can get there on the side when you click this home button, new application. When you click the new application, that's where you're going to be directed to where you want to go.
And
so,
yeah,
so the question is yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's the conduit that takes you to the MedSup online. Perfect. And when you're doing the Lean app, how many signatures are required?
So when you're doing a Lean app, the one signature at the end, because the other attestations, instead of like, you know, on a regular app, you have initials, there are buttons that you slide over, you know, for agree. I agree that I did this. I agree that I did this. When you read the disclaimer, you agree that you did that. But as far as signatures, it's the last page, the signature page.
Perfect. Well, Erica, listen, I want to thank you. Thank you again for your time and this great presentation. And I want to thank everybody who joined us today.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Great AEP.